Hey, everybody out there in social media land, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you might be, LinkedIn. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Gary Glass here, and we've been reading Napoleon Hill's The 12 Miracles of Life, and it's been a great book. We're all the way up to chapter number 9, which is the ninth miracle of life, how to transmute the creative force of sex. And so we're starting out on page 117 today, and we'll get in another couple of pages. So away we go. The creative power of sex emotion is a subject the ignorance of which has set civilization back 1,000 years. The true story of sex is one of romance, unequaled in any of nature's other devices for the perpetuation of the world in which we live and the universe of which we are an infinite part. Because the emotion of sex has been burlesqued and profaned by the vulgar minded until the very word quote unquote sex is seldom mentioned in mixed company, I shall here present some of its rare virtues not generally mentioned in sex literature or by teachers of the subject. The reason for this omission is fear that those who speak of sex will be suspicioned of possessing some queer quirk of the mind which makes them unacceptable in society. For my own part, I shall hew to the line of truth as I see it and let the quote unquote quips fall wherever the uninformed minds may drop them. The brief interpretation of sex emotion I have here presented is the result of more than 40 years of study of the subject of sex, much of which was carried on in collaboration with doctors and psychiatrists of recognized character and professional ability. Some of it through my own experience in the work of counseling individuals in the application of the science of success. It is a little known fact that transmuted sex emotion may be, and often is, a powerful factor in the achievement of success in all businesses, professions, and callings. The following facts concerning sex emotion are worthy of careful consideration and careful analysis. And holy smokes, there's a whole list of things here. It looks like 10, 11, 12, maybe 12 things. And so you know what? I think we'll cut the chapter in two and we'll get halfway through this first list. So number 1, during the sexual engagement, the door to the subconscious mind is wide open, and any desires, aims, or purposes expressed at that time are instantly picked up by the subconscious and often acted upon with astounding speed. Therefore, a mastermind alliance between a man and his wife can best be expressed for the attainment of any desired purpose by clearly describing the purpose during sexual contact. Number 2, to get the best results from plans and purposes expressed to the subconscious mind during sexual contact, the engagement should be prolonged from 1 to 3 hours before a climax is reached. During this time, both partners to the relationship should orally describe any plan or purpose described to be acted upon by the subconscious mind. Best results will come from expressing these desires or plans at and for 5 to 10 minutes after the climax has been reached. Well, isn't this something? Number 3, the emotion of sex has therapeutic values unequaled by anything known to man. The treatment consists of directing the minds of both partners during the entire sexual engagement to the correction of either physical or mental ailments. By this method, every one of the body cells is recharged with bodily resistance, and all the organs of the body are alerted and put into speeded up action in performing their normal duties. This system may be used for the correction of mental or physical ailments. But more important than this, it may be used to keep the body charged with the health-giving forces of nature. Number 4, the sex engagement should be carried on with oral expressions of love and affection stepped up to a high crescendo of emotion. This has the effect of arousing and alerting all the cells and all the organs of the body. I would say so. Number 5, For the reasons here stated, the sexual engagement offers the most favorable circumstances under which the mind may be conditioned for any desired purposes, for the attainment of success in connection with one's calling, the restoration of mental and physical health, the mastery of fear and melancholy, and the elimination of any undesirable habits, such as the habit of smoking and alcoholism. It is also the most favorable circumstance under which to build desirable habits, such as the most favorable circumstances under which to build desirable habits, such as a success consciousness, a health consciousness, or the development of any desired traits of character. Number 6, to get the best results from sex transmutation by the method here described, the sex partners should practice self-discipline until they can reach a climax at approximately the same moment. Also, until they can prolong the climax for any time they choose. Premature climax on the part of either partner to the engagement will destroy much of the magnetic power which would otherwise be available for giving instructions to the subconscious mind. If such a premature climax should be experienced by either of the partners, the sex engagement should be begun anew and followed through to a simultaneous climax by both. Now, that sounds pretty good to me. Number 7, any suggested plans or purposes planted in the subconscious mind during sexual engagements carried on under the method herein described for not less than a day for 10 consecutive days will definitely be acted upon by the subconscious in the form of ways and means being transmitted to one or both of the sex partners for the attainment of those plans or purposes. It kind of reminds me of a Rodney Dangerfield movie. He says, "I love teachers. They make me keep doing whatever it is I'm trying to learn until I get it right." And that not less than once a day for 10 consecutive days ought to be quite educational, huh? Number 8, both parties to the sexual engagement should express themselves both physically and orally in a well-balanced physical movement attuned to their oral expressions. Each oral expression should be emphasized by a physical movement. If the physical movements are left entirely or largely to one of the other of the sex partners, the one who refrains from physical action will be cheated of his or her proper share of the sex magnetism. A well-balanced, properly conducted sexual engagement steps up, intensifies, and balances equally the sex magnetism of the two partners. If this balance is not maintained, eventually one or the other of the partners will suffer some sort of mental or physical disturbance. Doctors are quite familiar with this widespread cause of one or the other of the sex partners being sapped of a major portion of his or her sex magnetism, and consequently being left unprotected from physical and mental disturbances because of insufficiency of bodily resistance. Wow. Now, I have never read Napoleon Hill saying anything like this before, and it's amazing. So often I can remember the idea of sex transmutation in the book Think and Grow Rich. There's a whole chapter on it, and I'd always interpreted it more as an opportunity of to take the passion behind the sexual energy and the passion behind sexual acts, and to divert some of that energy to your goal or something else that you're working on, and just haven't seen this level of detail from Hill. And this, I think it's a beautiful thing. It's certainly something well worth trying, eh? So there we are, another day of Napoleon Hill with the 12 miracles of life, and we're talking about the ninth miracle of life, and that being that of sex transmutation, how to transmute the creative force of sex, and giving it a little bit of instruction there. It's a beautiful thing. All right, we'll see you next time, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. And how I'd love to say, God bless you, God bless me, God bless us, everyone. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye bye now.